Talk, where we give you the latest news updates on Southeastern University athletics. I'm Kent Ingle, president of Southeastern University, and joining me as always, our amazing athletics director, Drew Watson. How's it been?
Been going all right. Been very busy.
Yep. Winding down the semester.
I wish I wasn't an Eagles fan right now because that's been going a little
Tough
rough.
game Sunday night.
Yeah, that was rough. It was rough. I don't want to talk. Let's talk about Christmas.
Okay.
So you have a Christmas party tonight. We had our athletic department Christmas party yesterday.
Okay.
And, we're not supposed to haze in athletics,
Okay.
right? It's a big
Sure,
thing.
absolutely.
But we make our first-year employees all get up and sing a Christmas carol together. And so there was a big group yesterday. There's probably a dozen of them up there, and they sang Jingle Bells.
And they sang Jingle,
Yeah,
and they did well?
Yeah, they did well. We do a little white elephant. Then we have an ugly Christmas sweater contest.
All right. That sounds fun. We do a dessert off. Everybody brings, their desserts, and then we do tasting, and then we select who wins. So
do you always win as the president?
well, we did last year. It would be Karen who wins. I'm not baking. So, but last year she did. She made what is called a Frango mint cake, kind of a chocolate mint with lots of thick icing, which of course is my downfall. But
of course.
yeah. So anyway,
well, when you play golf with the boss is always supposed to win.
yeah,
I can imagine
that would never happen in golf. I'll tell you that right
for the
now.
13th year in the row, the Ingles have won the dessert contest.
No, it's going to be good. We'll have fun. It's always
That's
great.
good.
Well, excited about what's happening.
Yeah, we've got finals wound down last week. We're full swing of winter sports.
Yeah, graduation last week, so we give a lot of holidays to help them get ready for the second swing of winter sports and all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
Today, we want to welcome Sal Silva, a senior here on the SEU Wrestling team, and not just any senior. Pretty important senior. Sal is the defending NAIA national champion at 157. Welcome to the show, Sal. You are, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
You
Glad
enjoying
to be here.
Yeah, grateful to have you. Enjoying the season so far?
Yeah, haven't competed too many times, but we went to Montana a little while ago, and we got a competition today. So
yeah, that'll be great. In Montana, was it below zero, or how cold was it when you were up there?
It wasn't as cold as I expected, but
Okay.
it was probably like in the 30s. It was pretty cold. A lot colder than here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot colder than
It's
there.
all relative, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, before we get into the wrestling part of this, we like to ask some questions that kind of let our listeners get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
So, where are you from?
I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Okay. So you knew Coach when he coached in Arizona? Is that
Yeah,
how
I
the
did
connection?
know him. So I kind of known him a few years, even before he was here.
Okay, so that kind of answers the next question. Why did you choose SEU?
Okay.
Okay, you had a connection to the coach, but it's more than about wrestling, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So there was a few different colleges I was looking at, and as I was about ready to commit to another college at the last moment, Travis reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to come out here on a visit, and I said sure. And I came out here, and I love the environment, I love the campus, the people out here. I just felt like it was a really good community, and I signed as soon as I came out here.
Now, what are your feelings about dry heat versus our heat?
Yeah.
I mean, it's always like it's a dry heat. Which one do you prefer?
Honestly, it's hard to say. The humidity, it definitely makes you sweatier, but I feel like you don't feel the sun hitting your skin as bad.
Yeah.
I honestly prefer it more over here.
Yeah,
But I've heard people say both ways.
Yeah, they the dry heat argument I've heard many times. Now, what have you learned? What would you say you've learned here in your time at Southeastern as a student athlete?
I would say trying to exceed in all aspects, in the classroom, on the wrestling mat, in life, just all around. I feel like before I was here, I was super focused on just wrestling, and that was my main focus. And now I'm more focused on doing good in the classroom, having a good relationship with God, being good on the wrestling mat, and just carrying that out through all aspects.
Well, that's important because we've seen a lot of student athletes come through here. They're just about their sport,
Right. Yeah.
And then they graduate or they leave here and they're like, oh, who am I? And what do I do now? And so that's really important things that you're picking up.
Yeah, it's holistic development in your life, and that's the important thing. You got an amazing team and an amazing coach. What's your favorite thing about being a part of this team?
I would say just the community we have. My team, our whole team is really good. This is probably the best team I've ever been on. throughout my entire time wrestling. And like because we're all good, like we could be like very competitive with each other, but I mean, we're super competitive, but we all support each other and we just like push each other all to be as good as we can be. And I don't know, I feel like we've got a really good team dynamic.
Yeah, that's great.
Wrestling's the only sport where, you know, you could end up in like the national tournament.
Yeah.
You could end up wrestling a teammate. And
Yeah.
that's all, like the men's basketball team never plays the men's basketball team. You know, but
Right.
you have like, and I imagine as a coach, you're like, oh my goodness, like, so you're coaching against your assistant coach in that match. And, you know,
Yeah.
that's an interesting thing about your sport.
Yeah, it is very interesting. Like, I think in Montana, 2 of our guys wrestled in the finals, and it's awesome. They both made the finals, but then they end up wrestling each other, and it's like, oh, who's gonna win?
Yeah,
But-
one's like the losers, like of the matches, like I'll take another ride to the airport. You know, I don't need to spend time with you. But speaking of that, you know, I coached for 15 years, and the road trips. You know, when I get together with teams at alumni events and stuff,
Yeah.
the stories that they're laughing about are from road trips. And so how important was the trip to Montana for your team chemistry and bonding?
Oh, it was awesome. We spent so much time together. I think we probably did like a total of 4 flights, and then we spent a lot of time in the vans. So when we got to Montana, then we had another like 5-hour drive to another area of Montana from the airport, and then we had that 5-hour drive back, and then back to 2 flights. So we spent a lot of time together, and I mean it's fun. Like you said, like it's a lot of joking around, a lot of getting to know each other, like talking to guys that you don't really talk to as much on the team.
Right.
But it was cool. It was a fun trip.
Good.
That's great. And on that trip, I mean, you had some big wins over Montana Northern and Providence College. 2 teams that are regulars at nationals, right? I mean, they're always there. Talk to us about those matches.
There was a lot of really good matches. Let's see who knocked off some really big guys. Trace Braun beat like some really good dudes that were ranked in the top 10, and he was ranked a lot below them, so that was pretty good. Gabe Jacobs had a really close match with another guy that was top 5, and he was winning the whole match. He ended up dropping it, but I think he'll definitely get that one later. Who else do we have that had some close ones? Cale Brisker did really well. Chris won a close one in his first match. So we had a lot of really close matches in both of those duels, and like our team was able to like squeeze out the wins, and like it would be close going into third period, and we would win just off of better conditioning or just going for that last attack, that last takedown, and we ended up winning both of those.
That's great.
Well, you guys face Bruton Parker tonight. Not only do you do that, you receive your hardware tonight. You receive your national championship ring.
Yeah.
In a ceremony at the match. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Won't ask you like what you're wearing and what, but what's this match look like tonight as far as your match and the whole team as a group?
Okay. It'll be a good match for sure. Bruton Parker's not quite as competitive as like the 2 teams we dueled in Montana, but it'd be a pretty good match. I'm not sure the kid that I'm wrestling specifically, but I'll definitely have a match. I know some of their weight classes aren't completely full, so it won't be a full lineup for them.
Right.
But I think we're going to dominate the match overall from lower weights all the way up to heavyweight.
That's great.
Yeah. You've had an impressive career here at SEU, being a reigning national champion. Talk to us about the mental and physical preparation that gets you to this kind of level.
Okay, absolutely. For like physical preparation, it's definitely a lot. I think wrestling is like a very taxing sport, and it takes a lot to be in shape enough to be able to compete at like the highest level. And then also, it's like very difficult to like find that like balance between overworking your body to where you can't perform at 100%, and then like pushing yourself hard enough to where you're in good shape. But I would say it's a lot of work. Like I spent a lot of time on treadmills, just trying to keep my weight down, stay in shape. And then we have really hard practices like 5 times a week. And then we also lift 3 times a week. So like very detailed training regimen, but it works out well.
And speaking, I mean, you have to definitely be disciplined, because especially with your weight, because you have to weigh in at the exact weight of your category, correct?
Oh,
This
yeah,
can't
absolutely.
be 2 ounces over, or right? It has to be right on.
Yeah, so if I'm 157, I have to be exactly there or underneath it.
So how do you do that? I mean, because weight fluctuates. I mean, based on even drinking a glass of water could affect that. So how do you make sure on that day you're going to be right at that?
Well, it's a lot of like checking your weight the day before, the entire week before, like every day, checking your weight, making sure that it's coming down. Really like precise on my diet, making sure you're not like eating too much carbs or too much like salt, because that'll make your body hold on to a lot of water. And just the day before, like if you're still a little bit overweight, get a workout in before you weigh in, and just making sure you're right aligned with that weight class.
Yeah.
But it's definitely difficult.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, wrestling's a unique sport in so many ways. I don't know if you know this about the president, but he loves gear. He loves Southeastern gear. He's always looking like, hey, I don't have that hoodie, but he's never asked me for a singlet.
All right. We'll have to get you one.
Okay. Well, you did. I did get one year. I have to say, I've never worn it, but I did get one.
I didn't know we got you a singlet.
Yes, a long time ago. It's probably been 5 years, 6 years ago.
So you're not going to wear it next time you preach at Monday Night Chapel? Or?
Yeah, I don't know. I just haven't put it on. So, maybe we should have a wrestling tournament with I don't know.
Like faculty, staff, administration.
Something like that. Yeah,
that's a good
maybe
idea.
that's an occasion to put it on. But
would you like to referee that? I mean,
I'd be happy to. That'd be cool.
That would be pretty funny. I don't think we'd last 30 seconds in there. But anyway, it'd be kind of fun. But Sal, thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely.
And we wish you the best tonight in the match and for the rest of the season. But enjoy your Christmas and a good start to the new year.
Thank you so much.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks
to
for
you
being
both,
with
too.
us.
Thank you for having me.
Yep.
Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Fine Living is located in Celebration, Florida, with a branch office located in Lakeland, Florida. If you're looking for a single-family home, new construction, resale, townhome, condo, luxury home, you name it, they can help you. Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate is a company based on values with a focus on lifestyle and community. Download the Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Fine Living app to take your search on the go and access your saved homes and searches from anywhere you are located. Well, Drew, let's talk about basketball.
Yes.
The guys had a good win this past Monday night over Trinity Baptist College, winning 76-57. Mm-hmm. I heard we jumped on them early, but then they made a run in the second half. Is that right?
Yeah, we jumped on them. Came out hot. They couldn't hit anything from the floor, and but they went on a 7-2 run, opened the second half. Cut the deficits at 12, then used a 14-2 run to bring it within 2. And Coach Lee wasn't pleased at that point. We called a few timeouts, got it back going. But we have a clip here of Reggie Messidor. This is the attempt by them to tie the game, and Reggie gets up and throws it out of bounds. Then here in the second half, Reggie misses here off to the left, and Sean Shore just raises up and throws it down. So, it was a good game for the team. I think sometimes when you've got a fresh group of guys, and this is a team that hasn't been together that long as far as the personnel, they're trying to get to know each other. But one thing I was impressed at with the game the other night was they were passing well. I mean, it was almost like you could tell Coach had talked to them in the past week, like, hey, we gotta move the ball,
right,
make the defense work a little bit, and sometimes that's our issue. Sometimes we've got guys who are really anxious to help the team, and sometimes, and I as I mentioned earlier, I've coached 15 years. Players who have the best intentions sometimes don't take great shots.
Right.
And sometimes you move the defense and there's a much better shot 2 passes down the way. And we showed that that ability to pass on Monday night. Now we didn't knock down a ton of shots in the second half. We went a little cold, but it was really encouraging to see the team looking for each other and really moving the ball well.
Yeah, and that's all about team alignment. The more you get into alignment with each other, and I mean it comes to a place when you're so aligned. You know exactly where people are. You know how they're going to respond, and it just makes it much easier to know what you need to do in the midst of that particular dynamic.
Well, and that's why we say that athletics is a microcosm of life.
Yep.
I mean, you could say that about your team.
Right.
Here in the administration, and any team, any good functioning team, well-oiled machine learns who they're working with and how best to set them up for success. And you learn that in athletics.
Exactly. What's next for the men?
We have a tournament this weekend, the SEU Classic. So we've got Cumberland University, University of St. Francis coming to town. The games are 5:30 and 7:30, both Friday and Saturday night. So good test for the men.
Yeah, that'll be great. Great basketball happening this weekend in the Furnace. I know those students are on a break, but hope we can get some fans out there
For sure.
to definitely enjoy the game. Let's jump to women's basketball, where the Fire are coming off 2 wins as they beat University of Cincinnati Claremont 82-45, then topped Point University at home 76-73, a little closer there. What were some of the highlights?
I think the main takeaway is like we talked about with the men. This team is getting some players back. There were some injuries early in the year. Kiki Brightsman's back. She's back in the starting lineup. That really helps, But again, it's a lot of new faces on that roster, and they played Loyola New Orleans earlier in the season, lost by 2. That's a game that was a 14th ranked team that they're playing against. Played well, but then there's just kind of people. There's new faces. There's freshmen, learning the college level. Excuse me. So, that's what's been really impressive about this recent stretch is. They're learning each other. They're, as we said about the men, it's the same thing. They're learning how to play together as a team. The defense is really, really good. I mean, if you watch the team, I forget what they call it, but they put on a half-court trap, and it is phenomenal. Yeah. And it takes a lot of personnel to run it for an extended amount of time, but that's been impressive, and it's been impressive all year. But the offense is really coming together.
That's great.
Here we've got a clip, and we actually tried to nominate this for a Sports Center Top 10.
Oh, wow.
It's Anaya Coleman. She's a transfer from New York, and she goes into the lane here. There's Rebecca Cook. It almost turns it over, but then she sees Anaya.
Back. It's Coleman.
Anaya gets fouled.
Had no cloth.
And
won it, and won!
And it goes in. And so... those are the plays that really excite the crowd.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
The team was fired up to see that.
Yeah. It's exciting to see things start to come together, a new coach and new players this season. So exciting basketball to watch. What's next for the team?
Well, we traveled to Ave Maria on Saturday to play St. Francis, University of St. Francis, in a little showcase down there. And then we and St. Francis is 8-3, so that's going to be a good test for us. They just lost to Huntington University by 2, so that'll be a good test.
Sounds like it's going to be a great match for our women's team. There are a couple of other games over the break.
Yeah, Bethel University's coming into town on Monday, 3 o'clock.
Which Bethel?
Bethel, Tennessee.
Okay.
So they come in Monday at 3. They started 0-2, but have won 10 straight. So they come in here hot. They play a game tonight, but so it could be 11 straight by Monday. But that's another great test against a hot team.
Yeah, well, excited to see how the break plays out for the basketball teams. We're getting into the conference schedule starting in January, so should be an exciting few months as we get back and get classes started and get into the
first games are conference
season. Where do you think we're ranked right now in the conference for both?
In preseason, the women were first.
Okay.
St. Thomas was 1 point behind them. So if one person had voted us a different way, they would have been the top pick for the championship. The men, I believe, were picked second. And so it really depends on that and how we gel. Yeah. St. Thomas is strong. Kaiser's strong. Florida Memorial's come out of the gate hot. So, on the men's side, it's going to be very competitive, like it always is.
Yeah.
On the women's side, as long as we continue to gel, I think it's going to come down to St. Thomas and Southeastern. There's always a dark horse on the women's side, but that should be what you see come out in the end.
All right, great. Well, Drew, that's a wrap for today. I want to remind everyone of our home games this week. Wrestling tonight at 7 p.m., then men's basketball Friday and Saturday night at 7:30 p.m., both nights.
Yeah, we know it's break, so if you can't be here in person, just hit SEUfire.com for our live stream, game updates, and recaps.
All right. Excellent. Well, I hope, Drew, you have an incredible Christmas and a start to the new year. And
you as well.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And to all of our listeners, may God bless you and your family as we celebrate the birth of Jesus here in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah. Merry Christmas. Thank you for listening, everyone. Go Fire.
Go Fire. Take care, everybody.